What are your thoughts on some business opportunities, or what are you seeing as some business models that might be dope?
I think to go off one you just said, I think not only just relying on the ad revenue, but attaching it to some type of software company is really interesting. Some monthly recurring revenue, because YouTube, the key difference between YouTube and TikTok and Instagram for me is I think the shelf life of a TikTok video is 3 months before they kind of push it out of the algorithm. And YouTube, it's like years, you know? So if you can make definitive content that'll be good for years and you have a monthly subscription service, then you can build some real enterprise value with a faceless channel. I have a friend doing that with a certain niche that I won't say, but he attached it to a software company, and the CPMs are great, but he's also building enterprise value by building that. I think an opportunity, I'm curious of your opinions on this. Alex Hormozi's school has gotten extremely popular. And it's kind of an alternative to people who don't have the resources to build their own structures like you have for online communities. But I think optimizing school communities, like an agency model of really refining them, making sure people don't have high churn, ensuring that the right value is being put in those communities, as well as helping those influencers with their content distribution and content creation. I think that's a big opportunity. I've seen Fortnite maps too. Have you seen this?
Yeah, the Fortnite maps is crazy, bro. My buddy Arab, he got a Fortnite map rolling. Started making like thousands of dollars already. It's like absolutely incredible. But back to your other, what was the other one that you were talking about before you mentioned?
The school
Fortnite
optimization.
So my brother Nate launched a school community called Anime Shreds.
Really? He launched it on school.
And within one day it became the top community on school. Did over $100,000 in MRR in the first week. Wow. And I pushed that through Telegram. So we won the school games, super easy to do. We just blew everybody out of the water. We were just kind of testing and playing around with it. And yeah, I have a really big email list, 600,000 people. I haven't shared Nate's community with him just yet, but he did an interesting price model. We kind of devised a situation whereby we would rank people's subscriptions. So we launched within the first hour, the price to join the community was $1.
It was sunset subscription, yeah.
$1. We instantly changed the subscription after 1 hour to $11. I blasted to all my like communities that the price was going to go up in 24 hours. 5,000 people sign up at $11. What's the math on that? 50 grand, 55 grand MRR. 24 hours rolls around. I bumped the price up to $22. Another $40,000 MRR comes. So within 3 days, I'm already at $90,000 monthly recurring revenue. That's $1 million business, light work. And then the third day I swap it to $33. And that's where the current price is at. And right now we're sitting at about like 6,000 people paying anywhere from 11 to $33. I think the business does, we're like 80K, 40 to 80K, depending on the month, just running a community that teaches people how to biohack, teaches people how to develop their physique and their fitness. And I think there's a lot of value to that.
Why did you launch on school as opposed to building in-house if you already have those?
I was just testing it. I was testing the platform and just having access to Alex and Sam.
That makes sense.
It's a good connection and it's a good platform. I think I support it under the premise that it's going to become a valuable tool to the ecosystem in general, right? So if I'm propagating this message of, hey guys, there's a better alternative way in order for you to no longer live under the Prussian school system of working in the factory, I encourage the tools that allow people to get to that. Yeah. And if that's one of the tools, so be it. I mean, I don't have any vested interest in the success of school, but I think it's good for the vested interest of the success of people that don't have $5 million to build a Capital Club platform, but they have $50, they have $100 for a subscription. It might be very valuable to them. So, and once again, we're talking about communities, right? We were talking about what was valuable. If I have a premium paid community, I know the people in there are real.
Yeah.
So that has a value to it.
That's so true. Yeah.
And that's a vetting process, right? And it goes from a small level of, let's say, $1 or $99 or $11. The same concept goes all the way to $100,000 memberships or fees that cost $1 million to enter or be part of these things. Like a Bugatti experience. You need to own a Bugatti. That's a multi-million-dollar entry fee to what? A group of people. So you have an entry fee in order to get access to a certain cultural group. And now we realize that you have to kind of get paid access to these rooms because that's where the premium information is. That's where you filter out all the nonsense. and you begin to find the community that resonates with your mission, vision, values, and you start building in accordance to that. So that's why Capital Club members can symbiotically come together, or biohacking communities symbiotically come together, because they share interests. So they just come together naturally, and you just kind of harvest it like a garden. My job as an entrepreneur is to be the gardener. I'm just making sure that these guys are making money here, kind of mixing pot over here, deal flow, insert some crypto deals for them to make money, insert some private equity, build out an academy so that they're well off, do some free events for them to get together, and just create the symbiotic relationship where everybody's winning.
I actually didn't know that you had a higher paid group. Have you ever done any one-on-one mentorship for people?
Yeah, actually, I used to do one-on-ones, but I only did about 6 months because then I got busy. And my last one-on-one was Thanksgiving of, I believe, 2021, a guy by the name of Anthony Eclipse. And he was a firefighter at the time. He was about to go back to college. He was doing drop shipping, e-com for a few years, but he couldn't crack it. We hop on a phone call. 1 hour, I decipher, hey, his product page is not good, his margins are not proper, he could have a better pricing structure, better tiers, better offer, add some post-purchase flows so that he can increase his order value, have some email marketing attached to the back. I gave him my Facebook ad strategy. And that month he made 87 grand.
Wow.
But then once again, I have the ability to invest into certain people, and now he's crushing. He's done millions of dollars in e-com, has a massive community, and he's one of my experts inside of Capital Club. So my mentorship now is more so at a macro level, whereby you see people like Alexander Chen, who's another one of my e-com experts. When I first met him at a networking event for Capital Club in Amsterdam, he was like, hey, you know what? I'm doing a couple $1,000s a day. I'm like, hey, come out to my Albania mastermind. Albania, right? Crazy place. Yeah. So he comes out and he tells me, hey, you know what? I'm doing 10K a day now. Thanks so much for all the inspiration. This is very good for me. And once he goes to Albania, he starts meeting guys that are doing 100K days. And he comes to me, he's like, bro, like, I'm going to do 100K days. Within a couple months, Alex hits me up and he's like, dude, I had a $300,000 day during the World Cup selling like neon soccer balls. And I'm like, sick, bro, like crazy. And now I'm like, okay, build out an entire brand course on how to build a profitable white label brand and scale it to millions of dollars. And let's put it out for Capital Club. So now he's an expert. He went from a person that joined the community, joined the network, all the way to leveling up himself, right? And in that process, Capital Club was with him, giving him access to people, giving him access to information, helping him along the journey the best way we can as a club. And then he provides value in return. And it's a symbiotic relationship. So the high-end mastermind is where I find the best partners, the best investment opportunities. And that's where I make most of my money. I was at a Capital Club event in London, and I was sitting with one of my buddies right there, and he's like, hey, how much money did you make on the event? I said, none. He's like, what? You could have made so much money. He's like, yeah, but you see that guy right there at that table sitting right there? He's made me $10 million in deals this year. I don't need to make money on the event.
Yeah.
So you need to understand where the best opportunity is. What is buy low, what is sell high? What is the ROI on an event versus the ROI on a 10-year relationship? And you nurture those things long term. So we have that high-end elite kind of group, and I curate it. I have a 2-year wait list on it, but we have about 80 to 100 people. That is a tight group every single year that gets together in different places of the world. I'm actually, from here today, I leave at 8 p.m.
You're going to Paris?
I'm going to Paris. I'm doing an event in Paris. And then from Paris, I'm headed to Singapore. I'm doing an event in Singapore. And then I'm headed to Bali, and I have my big kind of like mastermind retreat there. And then I'm back over here. So I'm kind of like glitching through the matrix, just trying to like connect with all these people because I find it really valuable. So just really cementing the digital relationships into a physical experience is found to be highly fruitful. So focused on that.
Why do you gamble?
Everything in life is a gamble. Everything in life is buy low, sell high. What's the percentage of success in business?
0.
Very low. Oh, what's the success on a blackjack trade? Or what's the success on a roulette? What's the success on the flip of a coin? Is the flip of a coin a higher success rate than starting a business? Do you have to gamble on yourself? in order to get that promotion. Everything in life is a gamble because everything in life is a game of probabilities. Gambling is a game of probabilities for the person that understands the game. For the person that doesn't understand the game, they think it's a game of luck. So therefore, they operate differently out of life because they think that gambling is something that can't be calculated. But you can actually calculate it. What if you're the house and you know the rules and you know the odds? You're going to always bet on yourself. You're always going to bet on the winning team. You're always going to bet on the winning fighter. Or at least you're going to bet on the things that have a higher odd of success. I like to gamble and I like to wager in the stock markets and in the crypto markets for one simple reason. The world is fucked. Let me explain. 1913 rolls around. In pre-1913 Federal Reserve Act, everybody's wage was actually worth something pretty decent. You would work at Henry Ford's factory like we were talking about, and within 4 years you could own a home. You didn't have to speculate. Gambling, speculating, same thing. You buy this watch, which retails 150 grand or some shit, and you gamble in the aftermarket that you buy it for $250,000 and that somebody in the future will buy it for the same price or for higher and not the retail price because you'll lose 100 grand. But it's a gamble. But what am I getting from it? Well, I'll get social status and I'll get blah, blah, blah. It's all the calculations that you're making on the risk reward ratio.
Yeah.
So when you make a risk reward ratio where the risk is low and the reward is high, is it a worthy gamble? Is it a gamble or is it just a good calculated play? It's like a penalty kick. Are you gambling that the goalie is going to go left, right, or center? Well, you're going to have to shoot in one of the three directions. You have a 33% chance of success or a failure. You have a 66% chance of success, depending on if you're the goalie or if you're the person that's kicking the ball. So everything in life is a gamble. So when you look at markets, you look at investment opportunities, it's about making calculated decisions and then with conviction, position your plays, position your opportunities, and going after it. A lot of people make decisions out of emotions. I want to make decisions out of the data that is provided to me. So when I said, hey, you know what? I'm going to gamble my way into content creation. I gambled my way into content creation with very solid understanding of CPMs. So when I come from an e-commerce background, I looked at the piece of content because I knew how to create really high quality content creatives that would go viral and gain traffic and make money in e-commerce. I said, what if I took the same piece of content, masterclass, what if I took the same piece of content and understood that this viral clip that I'm making right now is actually in direct proportion to the content clip that people make for an e-commerce store, which is one of two kind of perspectives that can be perceived upon that piece of creative or its task that it's supposed to do. One is convince people to buy, two is go viral. If it goes viral and it converts, it's called what? A winning ad, a winning creative. What if I could replicate that same idea? What is a winning creative? When your CPM and your cost of advertising is lower than the return that you're going to get.
Yeah.
So your margin is good, it's a winning creative. What if with content creation, it's the same thing? I invest into distribution of content or into making YouTube videos. I invest 100,000, but I understand that my CPMs are 50 cents or $1 or whatever it is. But I know that my throughput and my output will be $2 million in subscriptions and $50,000 in ad revenue and $100,000 in VC checks that I can cut. Okay, well, now I can do what? My analysis to see if I can deploy money into something that actually has a return to it, or if it's what? An empty hole. So it's gambling, but I actually get to control the odds and I don't have to put all the chips on the table and it's an end all be all. If I go right now to a blackjack table and I put the chip, or like roulette, and I put the chip on red and it lands on black, I lose 100%. In the stock market, PayPal goes down 12%. My portfolio is just down 12%. Yeah. So the risk, the bet is more to your favor.